sounds like such a small thing, right? But this tiny piece of tissue under the tongue, wow, it can have a huge ripple effect on a child's entire development right from day one. So let's really get into how that happens.
Okay, so first things first, what even is tongue tie? Let's break it down.
So, if you feel under your own tongue, you'll notice a small little membrane that's called the lingual frenulum. Now, normally it's super thin and stretchy, but sometimes it's just too short or too tight, and that literally holds the tongue back. And that's the condition we're talking about, known medically as ankyloglossia. And this is really important. It's not something a kid develops over time. Nope, it's a congenital condition. That just means they're born with it. It's a tiny little hiccup during development in the womb, but believe me, the effects can be anything but tiny. And that brings us right to the heart of it all, how this one small thing can cause some surprisingly big problems.
I know what you're probably thinking. A tight bit of skin? So what? But you have to remember, for a brand new baby, their tongue is one of their most important tools. So when it can't move properly, it's way more than just a small inconvenience. It can actually change the course of their early development.
Okay, so the first and biggest hurdle for a baby with tongue tie, feeding. It can make it incredibly difficult to get a good latch for breastfeeding. And that's a double whammy, right? It's often painful for the mom, and even more critically, the baby might really struggle to get enough milk, which can lead to poor weight gain. And the issues don't stop there. They can actually change as the child gets older. Later on, that same restricted tongue can cause some very real speech difficulties. Think about it. All those sounds that need your tongue to move in just the right way, like l, r, s, and sh, they can become a huge challenge. So I know hearing all that can sound a little scary, and it's easy to start worrying. But here's the really good news. The fix for this is often incredibly simple and works really, really well.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question on any parent's mind. Can this actually be fixed, or is it something my kid just has to deal with forever?
And the answer is a huge, resounding yes. It can absolutely be fixed. And the best part? The treatment is usually super simple and very low risk. It's a procedure called a frenectomy. And here's how it works. First, a doctor obviously has to confirm that's what's going on. Then, they make a quick, safe little snip to release that tight bit of skin. And for babies, the results can be, well, immediate. We're talking about improvements in feeding, sometimes just minutes later. It's amazing. So yeah, this is really not something to be afraid of. We're talking about a very quick, very safe procedure that's over in a flash. It's such a simple answer to what can feel like a whole bunch of complicated problems. Okay, so you've heard all this, and now you're thinking, what if this is my kid? What's the next step? What's the path forward? All right, the very first thing to do, and this is the most important, is don't panic. Seriously, this is a well-known, well-understood, and very treatable condition. It's totally natural to worry, but you absolutely don't need to feel helpless. If you spot any of the signs we've talked about, whether it's trouble with feeding early on or speech issues down the road, the single best thing you can do is go talk to a doctor. The sooner you get it checked out, the easier everything becomes. And really, that's what it all comes down to, isn't it? Just a little bit of attention at the right time can completely clear the path for a child's healthy development. It sounds a bit cheesy, but it's true. A healthy tongue really does help build a healthy future. So that just leaves us with one final thought. We've just seen how something that's so easy to miss can have such huge consequences. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What other small signs of a child's health will you never ignore again?